Yes, this is the Under-14 Australian Club Championships, which brings together both the boys and the girls, and it's quite an unusual occurrence to have boys and girls at the same venue. Usually that's separated out. So that brings 48 teams with all the associated coaches and assistant coaches, team managers, and all the spectators that come with it, the parents as well, which is probably going to mean 3,000 visitors coming into Ballarat for this coming week.
It's a big thing for a lot of the Ballarat players as well, getting to represent the city on a national stage as well in their home group.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's for a young player coming into the representative program and being able to play against sides from New South Wales, Western Australia, wherever they're coming from, is terrific. Great experience for them. They see a different style of basketball, no doubt, will come with some of those teams, and they'll have to adapt to that, and that's great for their development.
And we're hearing as well, so it's a one-off, it's a first for the tournament, having boys and girls mixed together.
It's not the first, but certainly the first in a regional centre such as this, and it only happens occasionally because generally a basketball association doesn't have access to enough courts to run this championship. You need to have 6 championship level courts in order to do it, and fortunately now with this new stadium and with the addition of a couple of courts at the Minor Dome, we can make it happen.
Big question is, do you reckon the boys and girls from the Miners and Rush will have a bit of a home advantage?
Well, they'd like to think so. I suppose they've had a little experience on these courts, and they know the role of the rings and things like that. But every basketball court's pretty much the same, so we'll see.
I guess just on that as well, particularly for these guys who are still sort of emerging in terms of their skills and as basketball players, for some of them who may actually want to make a career out of working in basketball, whether it be a player or just in the industry, it's a big step for them. Getting to work with not only playing against different teams that they've never played with before, but just getting the exposure to a national basketball tournament.
Yeah, I think what it can show young people is just how big the sport of basketball is. And even, some of them have been around today seeing the Gold Nugget camp for the under-14s, happening around us these couple of days. It just shows that the sport is huge. Therefore, the opportunities, at whether it's coaching or administration, are available across the country. So that if they choose the pathway and are skilled enough to be elite players, there's plenty of teams for them to aim for, regardless of where they end up in their studies or their work. But if they fall a little short of those aspirations, there's coaching opportunities, there's team manager roles, there's working within associations. So there's a lot of options for them.
And for all the girls and guys and stuff as well, this is probably going to be one of their first experiences facing national teams. What do you think it means for Ballarat basketball going forward?
Oh, look, any of these events that happen in Ballarat just give us fantastic exposure, and particularly being able to show them this new stadium. It means that all the visiting teams and the spectators who come will see a marvellous facility, and we'll go back and talk about Ballarat. We generally know that it increases visitor numbers later on. They're here for the sport, but they get a little taste of what Ballarat is all about, and they want to come back. And if we have another event at another age level, they're keen to come. So it does work really well for us.
And particularly as well for a lot of people that traditionally have thought the disadvantage for a lot of regional kids having access to national comps and all that kind of stuff. It really reinstates the commitment for regional kids being exposed to this kind of stuff, especially having a national tournament in a regional city.
Yeah, that's right. It shows that you don't have to go, to Melbourne or to another state in order to find these things. What's here is the best available, and so our kids are extremely lucky to experience that on a daily basis with their local teams. But the fact that it's up to level with the national competition that's on around it gives them a wonderful experience and something they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
And I'm sure all the kids are pretty excited about
They certainly are. You know, there's even we've had a couple of extra training sessions for our own under 14s, and they're slipping in here whenever they can to get a few shots up.